It is hard to believe we are transitioning from all the warmth, colors, and rich smells of fall into the Christmas season. I do love the season of fall, but honestly, we've had very little cool weather, and leaf colors are just now starting to change a wee bit in our area. Even so, I love my fall decor here in the Deep South, and some years we have to sort of pretend fall when the outdoors still looks and feels more like summer. On today's video, I want to show you some final touches I put on our fall decor and also share the process of making a huge batch of taco soup to carry us through the winter months. Here I am hanging up a little vintage wooden shelf on the wall beside my stove, and you may laugh at me, but I didn't have a measuring tape handy, so I used a box just to kind of make sure I was getting this somewhat centered on my wall. My plan was to use the Command Velcro strips to hang this up, and that worked pretty well. I just put a lot of pressure on the Velcro strips to make sure that they would adhere securely to the wall. I also picked up this beautiful trivet while thrifting in Ohio, and I knew I loved it with the cast iron framing of the beautiful floral design, and so I decided to hang that trivet a bit above the vintage shelf. I feel like I have so very little skill in hanging things on the walls. I find hanging things up quite challenging. So when it's not something heavy, I will usually grab the command strips, and I also can put a nail in, but I really dislike the measuring, and I don't like having to put screws into the wall or anything like that. It really kind of intimidates me. So oftentimes I will get my husband to help me with hanging things. I wanted to add a fall ribbon to my cutting board, and so I had this orange and white gingham from Hobby Lobby, and I just tied on a little bow on the top of the cutting board and lit a candle for that warm ambiance. I make taco soup in a large batch every fall so that we can enjoy it through the colder months. I usually just look up on Pinterest a recipe that uses the same ingredients, and I've made it in all different quantities. So at this point, I really don't even measure so much how many pounds of meat and how many cans of beans and seasonings and all of that. I've made it so many times that I just know what the mix should look like and what the consistency of the soup should be like, and so I eyeball it. But I'm going to show you the process, and this time I actually canned a lot of it, so I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. This may be the largest batch I have ever made of this soup, and because I had so much ground beef to brown, I decided to do that part of the process in my roaster. It's Noah in the blood, the Ice Age, and then dinosaurs.
And then it's Tower of Babel, right?
Noah and the Flood, the Ice Age, dinosaurs, and then it's the Sumerians, and then the Tower of Babel.
This is the Ice Age, right?
Yes, the Ice Age. So Noah and the flood, then the Ice Age, dinosaurs, yeah, the Sumerians, and the Tower of Babel. I try to clean as I am working on a cooking project. It just helps to keep the mess under control and makes things less of an ordeal at the end when I'm tired and need to clean up. As I got into the process of making this soup, I realized that I had forgotten to buy some pinto beans. And so I went to my dry goods and decided I would just go ahead and cook some dry beans in the Instant Pot. I decided to use this new colander since it is so big and I had a large batch of beans to strain the water off of. However, the sticker on the bottom of this colander would not come off, and so there's a little trick with using a hairdryer and putting heat on stubborn stickers, and it makes it so much easier to peel the sticker off. I'm not exactly sure how much ground beef I have here. I'm guessing 12 to 13 pounds. And then I have about 11 cans of corn, 11 cans of black beans, 11 cans of kidney beans, 11 cans of Rotel tomatoes, and 11 cans of diced tomatoes, except I added these extra crushed tomatoes because the recipe called for more of the tomato products than the beans and the corn. And I've also got beef broth and turkey broth that I canned after Thanksgiving last year. And then I'll be seasoning with some taco seasoning and with this ranch homestyle seasoning. And probably I am going to caramelize some onions and vegetables on the stove to mix in. And I may mix in a few other seasonings. I ran into a situation here. I was making such a large batch of the soup that I did not have a pot large enough to hold all of the soup. And so as you can see, I mixed everything up in 3 different bowls. And I have since bought a humongous stock pot. But this is the situation I found myself in, and this is how I remedied it, is working out of 3 different containers. Certainly not ideal, but it did work. At this point, I started to add in the tomato products, the diced tomatoes, Rotel tomatoes, and the tomato paste. I drained the water from the pinto beans that completed their cook time in the Instant Pot. You can always adjust the consistency of a soup by adding a little water if you need it to be a bit runnier. Now I began to fill the jars. I definitely like to use a funnel. It helps to cut down on the mess while filling mason jars. And here is a handy little kitchen tool that I will link in the description below, but it is a little Ziploc bag holder. And so I decided I would can some of this soup and I would freeze some. So I put quite a few bags in the freezer and definitely canned quite a few jars as well. With this project and having so many jars to can, I pulled out my Presto electric canner that I absolutely love, but can only put a certain limited amount of jars in at one time. And I also pulled out the All-American pressure canner and took it to the other kitchen and filled it up. So I was babysitting two canners at once. Actually, the Presto one, you just get it set and you don't have to continue to babysit it. It is very nice, but I had to keep a very close watch on the All-American canner in our old kitchen. After 24 hours, once I was sure the seals were good, I washed these jars in some water with some vinegar, and that helps to take that cloudy film off of the jars, as well as to clean up if there was any siphoning, which sometimes happens where a little bit of the soup will come out of the top as it is canning. So depending on the condition of the jars, sometimes I will give them a little bath in vinegar after the canning process. I want to just show you my simple fall decor for 2024. I didn't go crazy with fall decor, but I put some touches here and there, and I hope you enjoy a little tour around my vintage cottage kitchen. Last June, my daughters and I took a trip to Ohio's Amish country and brought home this beautiful white fireplace that my mother sweetly purchased for our family. And I have wanted to put something above it. The wall that it is against is white, and it's white, and I thought it needed something hanging above it to really make it pop. And recently, I was at our local ministry thrift store where I found this beautiful gold framed mirror. I believe I paid $8 for it. It was one of those items where they had wall hangings half off that day. So it was already an unbelievably good deal. But then once I got the discount, I could not believe that the total was around $8 for this beautiful mirror. And I definitely grabbed it and was so excited to take it home. And I wasn't sure where I would hang it, but I thought above this fireplace was one possibility. I am so thankful for the gift my mother gave to us in giving us this fireplace, and so excited to have found this mirror, and I am really enjoying it so much already. I feel like I am really late to the game and just now kind of doing a fall kitchen tour video where I see so many videos on YouTube already about Christmas decor, but honestly, we decorated for fall late, and so this is just getting released. And I wonder about you. Do you decorate for Christmas before Thanksgiving or after Thanksgiving? We were very late on decorating this year, but I'm enjoying the coziness and so excited for the Christmas decor to come. I want to just wish all of you a happy Thanksgiving, a very blessed Thanksgiving, and I want you to know that I appreciate you coming. I am thankful for you coming and spending time with me on our farm in my vintage kitchen and just being here and supporting my channel and my videos and the comments. And happy Thanksgiving to each and every one of you. God bless you, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.